Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you turn that? Yeah, I didn't even think about it. All this other prep work. We got so much in store for you tonight. For those of you guys who don't know, this gentleman over here to my right, his name is Seth Hofstetter.
What's up, everybody?
He's from JVC Kenwood Corp. They call it Corp?
It's a corporation.
It's something. Bunch of dudes hanging out, making cool car audio stuff, amongst other things, not just car audio. Today, we're here to talk about one of those amongst other things. We have dash cams. We have a ton of dash cams. This is the show about dash cams. We know a lot of you guys are interested in them for one reason or not, and if you're not, after the show tonight, hopefully you will be interested in them, and if you're considering buying one, you might want to buy one from, well, them.
Yeah.
Is that the best pitch ever?
Yeah.
If you notice behind us, we hope it's not too distracting.
Ow! Yeah.
You walked right into that. This is a dash cam playing for us. This is going to be going throughout the show. So for those of you that have OCD like myself, make sure you fixate on this the whole time. We'll be standing in front of it, of course. We have a plethora of things over here on the Fernando cam. Did you turn it off?
Yeah, I turned it on. It's on.
No, you turned it off. Turn it back off. Okay, sorry about that. We'll turn that back on. Anyways, we got a plethora of things over here on the Fernando cam. We'll power back up, and yeah, we got a lot of neat stuff. So, and also we have a really cool video that we want you to watch that if this isn't reason enough for you to want a dash cam, I don't know what is.
Definitely.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get started. Let's go.
Yeah.
We want to bang through this. How would you like to lay it on me?
You know what? Why do you need a dash cam?
Exactly.
That's the question. That's the question.
Do you want to start with the video?
Let's cue the video.
All right, I'm going to start with the video. Give me 1 second to start that, and we'll go to here.
What the hell? What the hell, you idiot! Oh my god! Oh my
Dude, he
god!
literally just jumped on the car.
This was all over the news when it first came out.
Oh,
I
wow.
watched it the first time I saw it.
So, is she the victim?
Watch this. I got a dash cam. Oh, snap. We're out of here.
He's like, let's go.
Dude, he's running. It's like watching Benny Hill.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that was like watching a Benny.
I never seen that one Wow.
Definitely one of my favorite dash cam videos of all time.
But it's silly stuff like that that happens to unsuspecting people such as ourselves.
Yeah.
That could have gone very badly, and without having the dash cam footage there, it would have just ended up very badly, or you'd been calling Morgan and Morgan.
That's the whole point right there.
Right.
It would have increased your insurance rates. You know, I recently ran into that. I mean, insurance is no joke, and it costs money. Well, guess what? Dash cams, they cost money too, but very minimal, not even proportionate to the way that your insurance rates could rise.
And we are going to talk about some of the prices on the dash cams tonight, which I know is totally off for us, but I feel it's one of the, we're going to make the exception because I feel it comes in at a price point that, or there is one for every budget. Let's just leave it like that.
Correct.
I think that's it. Now, we have some statistics because we all like statistics, and then we'll get on to the show and tell portion of the show, but we'll get the hard stuff out of the way first. All right, let's head over to that, and what do we got, Seth?
Yeah, so the point here is that, you know, you saw one reason why you might want a dash cam, of course, for insurance fraud. That could be one of the reasons. But let's take a look at this here. We know that the dash cam market is going to grow dramatically. So we know that it's going to account for almost $6 billion in total market size estimated by 2025. We know this is going to be huge. So it's important that you yourselves are prepared for what that means and be able to make an informed purchase decision about what dash camera you may want. So again, in answering the question of who really needs a dash cam, why do you need a dash cam? Let's just browse through some reasons here. So one such reason is going to be, you know, as you can see here on the display, is that you...
It's live, guys.
This is real. This is real. Maybe you have a teen driver. Guess what? I've got a daughter that's going to be driving soon.
She's not driving yet?
Not yet, but she will have a dash cam in her vehicle.
Oh,
you better believe it.
So we just got these And what we were trying to get done before the show is we have the new JVCs
We
that just
showed
came
them,
in.
yeah.
And this is going in Haley's car. We were hoping to have it in this week, but it's probably going to be next week just because this week fell out
how
real
it
fast.
is,
But,
yeah.
which we'll talk about later on and why that's like the perfect camera for a teenager or any car for that matter.
Yeah, many reasons for that. Most importantly, why teen drivers? Well, number one, it displays how fast they are going and anywhere that they are at. You can figure that out. So there's no lying. Just not going to get away with anything.
Kids don't
Sorry
lie.
about you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
they
right.
don't.
Now you can tap into their phones and see everything they're
I was
doing.
going to say,
there's-
I just look in their
Yeah,
phone.
I mean,
So
so-
you're gonna able to access that mileage and all that stuff.
So
from
you
your phone.
you do it
let's-
after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
and
not
you
get carried
can.
away.
But you can do it.
Oh,
from-
of course.
So,
Which we're going to show.
yeah, and it's important to see how that works and being able to communicate wirelessly.
Which
That's
to me, the software side of it is always the most scary part to look at. So we are going to be showing you the software, guys. So let's keep going.
We'll simplify it. All right. Well, rideshare services. Of course, if you're driving for one of the rideshare services company, you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your passengers. So it goes without saying. How about it helps prevent crime? Well, you kind of saw this with the insurance fraud.
Right.
Just somebody seeing that you have a dash cam is going to deter them. The same way that if they go around and they're going to try to open up doors, which car are they going to break into?
The one that doesn't have a.
The one that doesn't
Yeah.
have a blinky
Yeah.
red light.
Yeah,
Right.
the one that doesn't have anything going on. Maybe the one that's left locked as opposed to unlocked. They're going to break into the one that's unlocked because the door is just easier access. So the path of least resistance. Commercial vehicle owners. You can monitor your whole fleet.
I like 25 to life. I got one, so I won't be the cop's word over mine.
Yes.
Hey,
Anytime you take that dash camera, you can just easily
Spin
Turn
it
it.
around.
then it. Yeah.
they'll act the way that they probably should act in front of that, knowing that they're on camera.
No comment. Moving
No
on.
comments. First responders, road warriors, and tourists. Something else that as we take a look at some of the different dash cam offerings, you'll see why it can be important as to which dash camera you'd want to purchase if you want to capture that road scenery.
Yeah, I was actually, because I know when I was on vacation in Hawaii a couple years ago, before the world stopped, I had stuck a GoPro up on the dash and let it go, and that just wasn't any fun. But this year I'm going to take one of the, because we're going to Tennessee, I'm going to take one, I'll probably take the other JVC and stick it onto the dash and the rental, and just film everything.
Oh, now that you talk about rental, that is a good idea. You go out of town, whatever, rent a car, anything happens, you put that dash cam, because they give you like a secret lighter position and everything. So there you go.
Yeah, so that'd make a lot of sense as to why you'd want to purchase a single dash cam system. Portability.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a good one.
Well, at the end of the day, if you or someone you know owns a vehicle, you need a dashboard camera. That's all there is to it. Anything can happen at any time. You need to protect yourself. You need to be prepared. That's what this boils down to.
Do you hear, Dean? I need a dash cam.
Talk to him.
Yes, get it.
That's the dash cam scrolls in the background.
Yeah.
So we know now we have why we need one. Now I guess we should look at some dash cams. Where would you like to start with this?
I think it makes sense to start with our JVC dash
All right.
camera.
Let's cut to the Fernando cam. And there it is.
So our JVC dashboard camera, this is a brand new camera, just released.
Put it right there so it gets center spot.
So referred to as the KV-DR305W. At the end of the day, we wanted to create a dashboard camera that met all the most popular demands at the sub $100 price point.
Sub $100.
Sub $100. So this is $99.95 MAP price point. So literally everything.
sub.
A nickel's a nickel.
A nickel's a nickel. This is true.
That's right. So with the KV-DR305W, what are the things that are most important? Well, number one, some of the entry-level dashboard cameras don't actually have built-in GPS. So if a dashboard camera does not have built-in GPS, that means that although it's recording physically what's happening, and you can see that, it doesn't have the latitude and longitude coordinates
So number one, it may be much more difficult to prove where you were located. This would be important in a legal situation.
Right.
You need to have that exact evidence as to latitude and longitude coordinates. Again, several of the entry-level, lower price point dash cams don't include built-in GPS. So throughout all of our dashboard cameras, that's something that we went into it saying we need to have that.
So even at $99, we get GPS.
You got it.
That is a good.
Keep going.
Now, one of the
Sorry,
next
guys.
important features of this is that
Hand
we
back
thought,
just a little bit.
how crazy would it be to give you everything you need inside of the box to actually be able to use the product, to use the dash cam? Believe it or not, again, many dashboard cameras, you cannot use them until you go and purchase another product. What do you think that other product is, Dean?
It'd be a power adapter of some kind.
Nope, but good guess.
Oh, SD card?
An SD card.
Hey, look,
Look
SD
at that.
card.
So we include an SD card on all of our dashboard
And an
cameras.
adapter. And
So,
the
of
warranty
course.
is void if you open.
And I've already opened it,
I
so
love that
you're
one.
out of luck. You're out of luck, but can definitely help with.
Does it come with one sticker
Returns
or
there.
two?
So this comes with the, I believe it comes with a few stickers, but if not, I could be mistaken.
I think it comes with one.
Either way, it
Either
comes
way.
with a 3M fixed mount. Okay.
All right,
So,
hang on.
yes.
John has a question, and probably he just tuned in or something. What did he need a GPS and a dash cam?
Yes, so you need, again, to review, you need a GPS in a dash cam so that it can record the latitude and longitude coordinates. Even on the TV, as you'll see it playing, you'll see that it's going to be displaying the latitude and longitude coordinates. So if you take a look at the bottom here, you see it's going to display the date, it's going to display the time, the miles per hour, and the latitude and longitude coordinates. So you don't get that information, you don't get speed information unless it has the built-in GPS.
So again,
So
just miles per hour alone, very, very
So
important.
think about if you get in an accident at Sunset and Hoosie Wutsy, and you were in the northbound lane, and you got spun around to the southbound lane. Well, it's going to track that whole movement of what happened to your car, so you'll be able to use that as if, like, no man, I was in this lane.
And I was going this speed.
Yeah, and if you're
Right.
knocked out, or they take you in an ambulance, these are all things that they're going to find out after the fact. So these are really sucky things to talk about, but this is why longitude and latitude will help you, because then you can prove your case.
So
Remember, you're guilty until proven innocent.
You know, it's funny thing because sometimes the cops trying to figure it out, like how this car ended out
yes,
in the opposite position and all that. All
I thought that was
things.
our job when we're sitting there looking at it.
Exactly.
Come on.
Well, every time we have a
yeah,
crash
and it
right
causes
in front
backups,
of
and then traffic delays. All of this can be so helpful. Yeah.
So a dash cam definitely it's a good
All right.
help.
So, you've got built-in GPS. You gotta have it.
There you go.
Okay. How about giving you an SD card so you don't have to go buy one from the store?
Down lower.
Okay. So having an SD card. Now these are micro SD cards. You see here that they actually get inserted here on the bottom of this dashboard camera, and then we include an SD card reader so that you could plug it in and transfer the files to your computer. Okay. Now on this dashboard camera itself, you'll also notice right here it does record the audio. So guess what? Somebody comes up to your window and wants to have a conversation with you. It's hearing everything that's happening. Now, we can see where that could go a different direction. So that is something that you can turn on and off if, of course, you
I
know,
have no idea what you're talking
you
about.
want to have a conversation inside of your vehicle, something to that effect. Let's be realistic here. You have the ability to turn that on and off. Now, the next most important asked for feature is, just as you mentioned earlier, how about simplicity and ease of use? You get into the whole software, SD card, how does all this work? It gets a little scary. So we tried to make it really simple. And we created a way so that, again, you can just take this, plug it into your 12-volt socket in the vehicle, and you never have to take this out of the vehicle if you don't want to. You can simply connect to an application and then access the files from the application.
So it's an application. It's an application on your phone?
It's an application on your phone.
So that has Bluetooth of some kind built into it? Or is
Just
it
about.
plug-in?
It's actually Wi-Fi, so it's a wireless connection.
$99 and it's got Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi built in, one of the most asked for features. So
So for those, it's not going to search the internet. It's an ad hoc network that does peer-to-peer.
local connection. The phone to the dash camera. That's the Wi-Fi connection.
Okay. All right.
So
if you have the app right there, we can.
yeah, let's check it
Yeah.
out. We can plug this in. Do we have a 12-volt socket to
Hang
plug this
on.
into?
Yes, we do. Hang
Give
on.
Fernando 1 minute.
All right.
Actually, this cord is pretty long. So
Yeah,
we
we'll
can-
reach it.
So go ahead and hit that.
No, no, just
plug
plug it
in.
right into that.
Okay.
You got.
Oh yeah, you got.
You got a lot of length.
There you go.
All right.
So in case you were wondering if there was enough length to be able to route this up around your windshield, wherever, plenty of length. Okay. Now you're gonna have to guide me, Fernando, as to where to put where. But let's take a look here. So I'm gonna plug this in.
All right.
Okay. And then when we plug this in, you're gonna see that the camera's gonna power up. And once the camera powers up,
Then on the side of the screen here, you're going to see these buttons.
Okay.
So the first thing it's going to say is, hey, dummy, you don't have an SD card in there. So
Dude,
if you had another dash cam that didn't include that SD card, at this moment, you'd probably be pretty upset. But no worries. You've got an included SD card. So you simply take the micro SD card and you
16
insert
gig
this
card.
in. So it's a 16 gig included. Now you can actually utilize an 8 gig up to a 32 gig SD card. And then we're going to go ahead and you'll hear it lock into place.
So it's right in the corner. So if you guys
So
can
right on
see
the bottom
it
there.
right there.
Okay. Now it's going to say start recording. So you'll notice that these buttons on the side of the camera allow you to correspond to the specific menu function. So it's
Okay.
not a touch screen. It allows you to use the physical button controls. So we're going to use these up and down arrows just like this. And you can use the camera to control
just a
camera
minute.
settings.
Right here. Yep.
Right there.
We can go to wireless LAN, and then at any point in time, you want to access what's in there. You hit this check mark, which is corresponding to the button second from the top.
Okay.
And you see here you have your wireless LAN. You can turn it off, or you can turn it back to on. Now, if I turn it back to on, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to access the Wi-Fi on my phone itself. Now, can we see my phone
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
here?
Yep.
So we can set this down for a moment. Now, if we take a look at the phone, we'd go into the Wi-Fi, and of course, I've previously connected to this one in the past, but if you hadn't, you'd see a list of available devices,
Right there.
and you just select the KV-DR305W so that it's connected.
I'm gonna go right there.
Now, at any point in time, you're simply going to go to the JVC DVR Link app.
Okay.
Okay, so we open up the JVC DVR Link app. Now, at this point in time, it says, okay, no JVC DV device link is found, has to make its connection. Okay, so we've connected, so now that the app is opened up and the app's loaded, we already made that Wi-Fi connection so it knows it's ready to go. So for example, I could select videos, and I can go in here and I can see any video that I want to see. So I've just recorded some footage from my desk here. You see what recording resolution it was in, full HD, etc. We have something called events. Now, an event is recorded anytime the camera gets a physical impact.
Okay.
So while the vehicle is driving, let's say a rock smashes into your windshield. It then records an independent event and classifies that inside of a file, just like emergency. Then you can download that file directly to your phone. So you simply just select it, you'd hit download, and then you can transfer, you can view the video, so you could view it directly there, whatever you need to do, or we can go in and you can select share video. So we'd select share video, and it's going to bring up anything that you want to be able to share it to, like social media, etc.
Oh, email or something like that. Okay.
Exactly. Now, the last file type that we have, you're going to see, is going to be photos. So let's say that, maybe, geez, you got in an accident and you wanted to be able to take a photo. Well, you can actually press a physical button on the dash cam to be able to just snap a photo. And then when you snap the photo, it will classify the photo right here in this folder. So you've got videos, events, and photos. So it's really just that simple. You can take the SD card out if you want to, but you never have to take the SD card out to access the files that are stored on the dash cam.
So we got some pretty good questions. Before we move on to the next one, I think we should take a moment and just kind of answer those. Is the password to your phone 4 zeros?
Dang it! Now I have to change it. That's tough for me to remember.
Okay, so someone was talking about how you can't take a phone in court for evidence. Obviously, this eliminates that because you can take the SD card out and you can put it on anything, which we're going to show a little bit, the actual laptop software. So you don't have to use your phone as the viewing. You can use the desktop software.
You can.
Now
let me
clarify.
Disclaimer.
Yes. I'm not legal or financial advisor or consultant. So simply just sharing valuable information that you may find useful or may not. Hopefully you do.
Sorry, I fixed the mic. My bad. I left them both on. My bad. Also, what does it do when it's full?
What does it do when it's full? Good question. So the dashboard cameras by default are designed to record over themselves, and they'll record the very first file that it started recording with. So
think of it as
automatic.
So like if it goes 16, 16, and that's 16, then it's going to go back over here and start recording towards the 16.
Yes. Now, you can change the default settings so that it doesn't record over that. For example, if you were, needing that road scenery, for example, you wanted all of that at that specific area, you just go into the setting and you turn that function off. And I'll show you that when we go over to another dashboard camera in a few moments.
I have another question right there.
Yeah.
So, for example, if it happens, right? Like you have a crash or you're in a crash. How many seconds before the cam start recording from the crash?
Right. So the way that the event recording is designed to work is in a 10-second cycle. So basically, once it gets that impact there, then it does I believe it's like a 10-second drawback around there so that you have that so you can see it as it's happening, not just when it happens forward.
Okay.
Of course, it would be stored in the regular files. You could see it longer, but the event recording by default, I should say, is set to 10 seconds.
Okay.
Now
so
again,
that's a good
the default
it's always
change.
on and recording while the car is on.
Correct, and that's what's really key about this dashboard camera. So what did we have to do to get it at that sub $100 price point? One of the things is that this is a driving dash cam. Okay, there's a difference between a driving dash cam and one that is a driving in a parking dash cam.
I think that was going to be my next question, so you skipped ahead. Very good.
Awesome.
So let's move on to the next dash cam. Keep your questions coming. We'll cruise back into them. One of the questions though is how does this $99 one does not do the bump in the parking lot kind of thing. That is an advanced feature. Also, one of the things is use a battery. Does this one have an external battery, or is this a straight plug-in?
Just a straight plug-in on this camera.
But we do have ones with batteries that we're going to talk about.
Not exactly, but kind of.
Kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
I have one more question.
Yes.
So, how many seconds? No, I'm sorry. We already did that.
And you can adjust that event too. So if you wanted to record 30 or 60 seconds.
There you go. That was the question. How long does each recording?
Yeah, there are increments. You can change that for the different cameras.
Okay, so that's it.
Okay.
So you can.
All right. Keep the questions coming on the dash cams. Of course, we will stop and answer as many of them as we can. That's why we're here tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
and
questions.
of course, just to watch the beautiful scenery in the background.
Yeah, and you'll observe that as it's playing, you're going to see different dash cams displaying there. So we'll go through some of these in person.
All right. What is next? What do we want to hit next? Let me move. Let me get this. Give us 1 second to kind of move this stuff.
I'm gonna sit down there.
You have this over there.
I got this one.
Move this.
And like you see, guys, in the TV in the background.
Will it read
Dean was driving.
Will it read license plates from 25 to 30 feet away? Probably not on your phone. Do you know how? It's like they're high res, so they're 1920 by 1080.
Yeah.
That one was 1920 by 1080, right?
Yeah, that one was full HD 1920 by 1080.
So you can probably zoom in pretty far on your laptop, and it's going to just depend on how bad or dirty their license plate is.
Yeah, there you go. And let's welcome Seth from...
Yeah, from Kenwood, of course. So, let's move on to the next level of dash cams.
Which is going to get you into the
Well, the parking mode with the Kenwood cameras. You'll see
Kenwood.
at the next level. So,
all right.
the
We
next
go
one
over
takes
here.
us
Up to this model here, the DRB.
All right, hang on.
Dash A 301W.
Okay.
So full HD recording, 1920 by 1080 is what we just talked about. Same recording level here, 1920 by 1080. Okay. So what's a little bit different about this dashboard camera is that number one, it has a bit of a physical stature difference. So you'll see as we take this dashboard camera out that it has this little slot right here that I'm going to open up. So you notice how this mounts at the top, and this is a fixed mount on this dashboard camera. So at a MAP price of $120, $119.95, you're going to see that this kicks it up a notch and gives you a fixed mount. So that's going to be your 3M fixed mount. But it's also going to give you a suction cup mount.
Ooh.
Okay. Now,
So this is the rental car.
this could be for a rental car as
This-
well.
This is a good one right there.
So then you're going to notice here that we connected the power directly into the side of the JVC dashboard camera using the micro USB cable. Now, this dashboard camera, you see this right here.
Uh-huh.
This, watch this. See how it just pulled that in there? That is a detachable magnetic mount.
Wow.
Okay, so what happens here is that you pull it apart,
So
just
physically
like
you
that,
have to pull
so you can
it.
watch it, whoosh, and then it snaps into place. So you can take out the dashboard camera whenever you'd like to for any reason, maybe just for easier accessibility, easier to access the buttons, maybe you want to take the SD card out. And what's nice about it is that the cable plugs into the mount itself.
Okay.
So the cable will stay plugged in even though you can remove the camera itself.
Cable.
Wow.
Yes.
You can plug it in if you like.
And so now if you take a look at, so we've got an included cable like this. Now what else separates this product? Okay, you've got an included SD card. Now the SD card on this Kenwood dashboard camera, you can add or change it out for, I should say, up to a 256 gigabyte micro SD card.
That's a big card.
So just more storage, more file storage.
More driving.
If you're not worried about, if you're worried about rewriting over the card, then you definitely want to up to this one because 256 is like.
Yeah, so you got a 32 gig max on the JVC. This one, 256 gigabyte max.
So why did it come with the regular USB cable here?
So this you could just plug into, for example, you wanted to plug this into your computer to be able to transfer files as opposed to taking the SD card out of the dashboard camera itself. You could just take the dashboard camera out and you notice how it has a connector right there.
About right here in the top.
So as opposed to just connecting to here when it's in the vehicle, anytime you want to take the camera out, connect it to your computer, you can plug in the cable like this.
Now,
So
is this a secondary power source too?
if you wanted to plug in power, that is a power source there. So I have it connected over here.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's
So let's
come back over there.
let's come.
So you'll notice that, and if we take a
Take
look,
a look, you'll see as it plugs into the
computer here. So it's just plugged into the computer. So we'll go ahead and plug it in. Once it's plugged in, the dashboard camera itself will power on. Once it's powered on, it's going to say, okay, USB storage or dash cam. So we can select USB storage, all right, and then that's one option that we would have, and then we could just access files on the computer itself.
Okay.
Now the other option that we would have is that, I'll just cycle power on it, is that we can select dash cam itself. So if we select, if we cycle power on it, and we select, instead of USB storage, we're going to select dash cam, and you'll see there I just unplugged it and cycled power again, so it'll power back on. Now I'm going to hit the down arrow. So again, no touch screen. This is a physical button. Hit OK, And then now it's going to allow me to see the dash cam and start recording. Now, very similarly, anytime I want to access menus, I can stop the recording. So when I stop the recording, just like we did with the other cam. So I can use
this as a nanny cam? I could use this in my house?
You could use it that way if you'd like to.
Can I use it as a laptop camera?
You know what?
We haven't found out yet?
You could probably, I mean, for what it does, you probably could in the right setup. So you'll see you've got all these settings on here, right? Well, one of these settings is going to be a little bit unique. It's called parking mode sensor.
What is parking mode sensor?
So as opposed to being just a driving dash camera, this product here has the ability to be connected instead of just to switched power, so it's going to turn on and off with your vehicle, which that's great. You can use it that way. If you only want to use it while you're driving, by all means, connect it via switched power. But if you want to enable this parking mode sensor, you can turn the parking mode sensor to on. Now, what's going to happen when you do that is if you've connected either the included cable, the included 12-volt socket adapter to constant power, or you purchased the separate hardwire kit. So the hardwire kit, the CA-DR1030, includes all these nice little fuse taps to make it easy to find the power. You've got your power connector cord, and then of course you've got your 2-wire connection here. Now, although this is a red and a black wire, you can hardwire it so that it hides the wires away nicely in the vehicle. Because when you have the dash cam on the windshield, you got to mount, move the wires around, and it has these nice little plastic pieces with double-sided tape, so you can mount it on the windshield and hide the wire away. Just wire routing tabs. You'll see those there. But then you got to put the rest of the wires somewhere, and if you don't want your cigarette lighter or 12-volt socket exposed, well, you want to hardwire it into the vehicle. So you could just hardwire this to switched power and then leave parking mode sensor off. But if you want to take it a step further and enable parking sensor mode, the way that this works is quite unique. It's designed so that the camera will always be on, but then when left stationary, when you have parking mode enabled, it will go into a standby source. So the camera is still powering on, but it pulls much less current. Okay? So when the camera itself, I should say, is powered on, you're going to see an average current draw of probably about 0.037 amps, give or take. And then with the screen off, it's going to go down to about 0.012 amps. Now, the reason that that's important is that not only is it going to put it in that standby-like source, but it also has voltage monitoring, so that if it ever sees a drop down to 11.2 volts of your vehicle battery, it will power completely off, so that your vehicle will never be in a non-start position.
And that answers that question, will it drain my battery if on? So it's smart enough to know not to drain your battery.
Yes. So that's what takes it from parking mode camera to a driving mode camera. So why would you need a parking mode camera? Well, let's think about that. The vehicle is parked. It's in a parking garage. You're going up to your room at night, whatever it is, and you want to be able to monitor if somebody busts into your vehicle. Well, since it has, just like the event recording, a shock sensor built into it, as soon as it receives that impact, it's going to then power on and then start recording that event. Okay? So that's the purpose of incident recording.
So I was just thinking, it has the suction cup that sits like this on the window. You can easily just spin it around to the inside of the vehicle.
Yeah, so at nighttime you could do that. If somebody walks up to your windshield, like we talked about earlier, and you want to monitor what that person is saying and doing, it's just an easy turn and spin.
What's the AV out for?
So it actually has video out. So for example, if you wanted to see the display from this on a larger screen in your vehicle, maybe you have an application where you need to use this to monitor something or to see something you can't see in front of you, anything, okay? You have an actual AV out there. Now we don't include the cable to go AV out, but it's standard AV out, so your left, video out cable. And so you'd be able to display it on a separate screen. That's it, just to display it.
To answer the other question, it seems like it's hard to get off. It's not really that hard to get off, but to answer the other question is you don't want this to fall off in an accident, so it has to have
it's solid.
some gripping to it. If this is like any other window mount suction cup nowadays, I'm pretty sure it's going to stay right where it's at. But there you go. So this, and there again, we're still talking about single camera options. If you caught the stack of cameras over there, we're going to get to the dual camera options. Some of you were asking questions about dual camera, as well as is there one that integrates with the Kenwood radio. We do have a great demo for that. Also, we have that hooked up, so we're going to show you that in a minute too. So the answer to that question is yes. How much is the hardwire kit? Do you know off the top of your head what suggested retail is on it?
Yeah, map price is $24.95.
There you go.
So we're at $24.95 on that. We're at $119.95 on this camera at a map price point. So we've gone through some of the other cool features there. Now, we showed you how to access the dash cam wirelessly. Now, with the Kenwood Dash Cam Manager app, you can access it wirelessly the same way. So, for example, if we go ahead and let's go to, Fernando, can you see that? Okay, so you see that little wireless icon there. So the exclamation mark button corresponds with that. So you just go ahead and you press and hold that.
Okay.
And you're going to see the screen change to a wireless connection. First, I'm going to go ahead and we need to exit out of the current screen that we're in. So we'll get back here to the main screen and then press and hold, and you're going to see it change to the wireless connection screen here. There we go. So just like we did before, we'd go into Wi-Fi and we'd now look for the DRVA 301W because that's the camera we're using. And we'd connect, just like you connect a device, it just shows device connected. Okay. So now when the device is connected, we can go to the Kenwood Dash Cam Manager app.
Okay.
So I'll go Kenwood Dash Cam, and I'm going to open up the app. So again, no cables are connected between the phone and the dash cam. I'm going to hit continue, and then right now you can see that it's displaying what's on the dash cam. Ooh, look at that.
This is a total nanny cam.
And then I can select files on dash cam or files on mobile. Now, this takes it one step further. I can select dash cam menu, and when I select the dash cam menu, I can actually change the settings of the dash cam from the application itself. So remember we talked about things like the parking mode. Well, you can adjust the sensor level, you can turn GPS on and off, you can change, any setting that you want to change, you see how it's there.
So
Video
this essentially,
length,
for parking mode, has a shock sensor built into it.
yeah, and you can adjust that shock sensor.
Perfect.
And the JVC does have the shock sensor mode built into it, but again, it has to be powered on. So unless you are going to hardwire it and manually power it off and on each time, which you could do, but be a lot, it makes more sense if you're using it for this function that you'd probably want to go to the next level of dash cams. Okay, so we can change the settings on the dash cam. We can access the files on the dash cam. So just like before, you can see how you can access the files that are there. You can play back the files. You can change to just videos or images. You see these are images that were recorded. Then we've got actual footage. So let's say I want to select this footage. So I can select this footage and I can hit playback. So I just want to go back and see something that I just saw. I can see all the information. Now, at any point in time, I want to be able to download this to my phone. So I'd select that icon and then I'd hit here to download it. Now, rather than have you watch me download this, I've downloaded one. So we're going to go back to files that are already on the mobile device. The reason that this is important, and this is where it gets really cool, okay? Now, when I select this video for playback, you're going to see these two little icons here. So when I select this icon,
the route.
See the map pull up there? So now we're going to start this out, and it shows me on the map exactly where I was on Google Maps there in real time as the dashboard camera is moving down the road.
Sweet. Now,
Very cool.
all the Kenwoods are like this, correct?
Most of the ones that we're going to show you tonight are.
Okay,
and we'll tell you which ones are and are not.
Okay.
So you get that. Then, one last piece on the app itself. You can then go ahead and select the video, and you see this little icon indicating share. So we'll select share, and just like we talked about previously, we can now share this to whatever, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you want to share it to. So
Perfect.
never need to take the SD card out of there.
All right. Can we answer more questions?
We can.
All right. First off, Bill Freeman says hi.
Hello.
All right.
up, Bill?
Let's go back here. The CA-C3AV does not work on this. This is a 16th of an inch, so the smaller, not the 1/8 inch style hole on it. And let's go back to easy to get on and off. All right. Hold on. Does this do 10 seconds yes, we did. Yes, it does do the 10 seconds. Does it have oh, here you go. Does it have picture stability when driving or hearing bass? So basically, does it have image stabilization?
You can adjust the shock sensor level, which will be what will affect that. No additional sort of like logarithmic type of something
So
to do
the
with
lens
that.
does have basic floating image stabilization, or is it done through the software?
No, it would just be done through the software. No adjustments on the
So it does some
dashcam for that.
cropping and some basic image stabilization. Okay. I mean, it is $130.
Josh, if you guys have like any answers from Josh, of course, you know, he works for
Josh is the other guy from JVC.
Yeah,
So
we
yeah,
got Josh Bowen and Marcus Vasconcelos. These guys have helped me put some of this stuff together and get it going.
But they're answering some questions.
Yeah.
are,
So
they
if
are.
they answer you question, I mean,
It's
It's-
as good
it's-
as hearing.
Mark- truth,
Marcus got some the video footage back
That's
there
really
you see
nice.
behind us. It's pretty cool.
Like,
It's
where-
pretty
where
cool.
he
So
was?
that's Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh.
So there you have it.
that is nice.
So thanks to those guys for their help with this for sure.
We are going to get to the one that connects to the Kenwood. You know, can we just skip ahead and do the one that connects to the Kenwood radio? I know that's out of sequence, but can we do that one? All right. So you guys have asked enough. We're going to show you the model that does connect to the Kenwood head unit. Let's switch back to the Fernando cam, and Seth can tell us all about it.
So what's unique about this dash camera, the DRV-N520, so you wonder price points, $220
Okay.
is what it sells for. This only connects to Kenwood specific receivers. So the Kenwood receiver has to have an actual, it's a Molex plug connection besides your constant switched and
If
ground.
you want to see it on the back of the other radio, we have. I mean, if you want to spin around real quick, Fernando, it's on
All
the
right,
back.
hang on.
Yeah, you can
Let
look
me
at that
go.
connector there.
It's that little white connector right
this
there.
one right there. Yeah, it says like
Dash
literally
cam.
right there, dash cam. So you have to have this plug to able to.
That's how it speaks to the radio. That's the language that it sees, because it's actually transferring data. Now, the reason it's so small, and that's what's great about this, is you can hide it behind a windshield, rearview mirror, sorry, and it's out of mind, out of sight. But it doesn't have a GPS antenna built into it. It uses the GPS antenna from the Kenwood receiver. So qualifier number one, at a minimum, the Kenwood will have a GPS antenna. So you know if you bought a radio without a GPS antenna, it's already not compatible.
All right.
Now, there are some that have it that don't have the port, but we have a compatibility list on our website. So I pushed this button here, the menu, to select camera. And this brings up the dashboard camera. Okay.
Ooh, I know those guys.
Now, as you take a look here, you'll see an icon that allows you to bring up two different areas. The settings are on the right. So this is a question that keeps coming up tonight, so let's take a look at it. Recording. We're going to see all the different intervals. So we want event recording time, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. So just like each of the cameras have their own allowable amounts of times for the recording, you can change how long you want things to record for. This one's important, overwrite. So we talked about if you want it to overwrite automatically or not. So by default, you'll notice that it just overwrites and goes back to the previous file. You can do that for event recordings or just for standard manual recordings. You can change all of these selections. So again, the point here is that here's sensitivity settings. So again, for the shock sensor, how it'll go off, all of these are controlled.
So you have all the access of the menu from the dash cam in your radio.
Yeah, and that's the point here. How easy is it to control then? You don't have to connect your phone to it. You don't have to go through buttons or a smaller screen. You have your nice large display to be able to change all the settings. So you've got driving support settings, which this is something like departure delay on this specific model. If you're sitting at a stoplight and you don't go, it'll tell you that the car in front of you went by dinging at you. So just kind of some fun extras that we put on here. Parking recording settings. This one's a little bit different. So this one is going to be much like something I'm going to tell you at the end of the show tonight. This has a constant, a switch, and a ground. So this is traditional as far as how it will work with parking recording. It does not have to do with voltage differences or standby modes or things like that. Because it has a constant, always on per se wire connection, it's always ready to be recording as soon as it gets that physical impact. Okay, so that's how these work. Now what's cool about this is as soon as an event happens, next time you get in your vehicle, it brings up a message that says a parked incident recording has occurred, and then you can go in and view those parked incidents.
Wow, that is a nice...
Go over again the radio real quick, the radio qualifiers for it.
So number one, the qualifiers are, you should go to our website, look at the DRVN 520, and see which models are listed as compatible.
That's always good.
That's always good. On the radios themselves, it will show dashcam ready or DRV-N 520 ready on the box, on the website, on the web pages. But at a minimum, on the back side of the receiver, you will see a white Molex plug physical connection that says dashcam on it that we showed you earlier in the show tonight. So go back and look at that. Has to have that physical plug. Only certain receivers have that plug. And then, of course, you have, again, your different system settings where you can change miles per hour, kilometers, etc. So you've got your system settings. Then, let's say you just got in an accident. Somebody drove away. You need to call the cops and give them a license plate number.
Right.
You go into the most recent recording, whatever it was, that's going to be us. So then we're going to go ahead and we'll select any of the recordings we want. So here we are coming over here. It's going to play it back. But I can't quite see what's happening right now. So I think what we should do is we should zoom in a little bit on that guy.
That's the guy right there.
That's it.
Call the cops now.
So again, you see just how easy it is. You can zoom in. You can listen to the audio by turning the audio up and down. Play, pause. So instantaneously, you can review an event from the receiver itself. Same thing with your different types of recordings, your different folders, and your still images. Pretty cool.
That is
pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Okay, so now that they completely sidetracked us from
No, that's
where we
okay, that's
were,
all right.
That
So
was
now-
awesome because that's so much fun.
That is cool. And that is definitely our most popular dash cam.
Yes.
Um,
Every time we install like those, yeah.
So on those radios, they also have, which we didn't show on this, was selecting the dash cam and the camera setup.
Yes.
It uses the front camera input to do it on these radios. However, there's still 3 other inputs. So you can have a front cam, a dash cam, a rear cam, or a dash cam, a side cam, another side cam, and a rear cam. The only one that will record, though, is the dash cam.
And the newest receivers also have selectable functions, so you could even use the third camera input per se instead of the front camera input and assign it as the dashboard camera. So it's kind of evolved over the years since the dash camera came out just a few years ago.
I will say for the backup camera, although it is not the easiest thing to mount, the HD camera is awesome looking.
Oh, that's the best.
It is amazing.
It's just odd.
Well, and in fact, the that camera that you're referring to, the CMOS 740 HD, that actually uses the technology from our dash cams. It uses our high dynamic range or wide dynamic range, which takes that, that light glow from a car coming right at you, and it completely diminishes that, so that it takes out all the negative effects of that crazy light that would be just overtaking the entire screen.
Crazy light. Just for if you're interested in any of these cameras or want to head over to the web pages, I have put links in the description of this video. So the JVC as well as the Kenwood web pages, you can easily just tap on there. Or if you want to just search, JVC's website is
you can go to
JVC.com, right?
Yeah, there's a car specific portion of it, so we can pull them up here and show you. Kenwood.com/. USA/car and
Or just
us.jvc.
click on the link. It's way easier.
Yeah, you can go that way too. But if you go to either JVC or Kenwood.com themselves, you'll find the link to our country and then to our specific
And I would definitely
car
recommend you
electronics.
to go to the website so you can see the different dash cams that they offer you.
That's us.
I was gonna say, that's a, which radio is that? Wow.
That's the DNR 476S. So that's the built-in Garmin Nav 6.8-inch screen.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
So one thing that separates this from the rest of the dash cams that we're pretty much talking about is it does not have wireless connectivity, because you've got the radio to be able to access the settings and access it.
Right.
But on the dash cams that have the wireless connectivity, we also have a PC viewer, so that if you did want to take the SD card out or just connect it, like I have this connected here to the computer, you have the ability to actually do what we did on the app, but see a little bit more information. It's kind of cool the way it looks like.
Let's take a look at it. I'll wait till you get that. Now, is it just Windows or is it Windows and Mac?
I think it's Windows and Mac both.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive. I have not installed it on my Mac, but
Heck, man.
we can check on the site.
All right, let me-
I know it does PC. I think it does Mac too.
All right, I'm
99% positive.
pull you up here, and this is the viewer.
So this is the Kenwood video player. So you see here, it doesn't have anything displayed because we have to tell it, hey, where do you want to access videos? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to access videos from our 5-star folder for tonight. So let's go ahead and we're going to open this up and we're going to select any old video here. Okay. So we've got this video.
Sorry, the second camera was a
Kenwood.
Kenwood.
Second camera, DRVA 301W from Kenwood, yes. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we'll play a video. So I may not have anything playing here. Let's find a different video that shows something. Maybe this one. And in fact, I'm going to change to USB storage. So again, we had the camera set up so that the camera, we were accessing the camera settings.
Yeah, we were playing with it.
We were playing with it.
That's
so
the
now,
joy of live.
Now I'm going to turn the camera itself. So when a camera first powers on, when you have it plugged in, I'm going to change it to now USB storage instead of dash cam. So now that it's on USB storage, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a video from the USB storage. So C, D, E, or G, which one do we think that's going to be? Maybe D? I don't know. We're going to find it though. It's going to pop up. Ah, photos and videos. How about videos?
That would be a good one.
Okay, there we have it. Okay. So we'll select a video playback there. So we've got a video. We could hit record. I'm sorry, not record.
Play.
We'll hit playback and then it will show the information there. Whoops, sorry. Let's go back into it. Okay. Did I lose the video? We're going to go back in. We're going to add a video. We know it's on G. We know it's on video. And we'll go ahead. We'll try to play back a video, but Dean, I think because it's connected and video out from your computer, it's not going to show up on the display.
Okay.
But anyways, if we have it when we have the video player playing, just like we showed you on the app itself, you'll see the video that's playing here, and then in this section here, you'll see the actual map itself pop up.
Okay.
So same way it works on the phone itself.
Yeah,
you just
hold
have
that-
the ability
hold
to do
thought.
that
Let's
on
try
the
to
computer.
disconnect our thing. We can always bring Fernando's camera on and we can see what it looks like.
But like Seth says, you know, it's gonna work the same way in your phone. So you guys already saw that how it works in the phone.
All right, I'll try to pull it up for us. And we can see if we can add the video here without it connected. All right. And then we got our videos.
Any issues with hot temperatures?
Hot temperatures. We do have it rated for specific super hot temperatures, but nothing that we've ever had an effect that I've ever had anything come up.
You've never got it. I'm coming back.
No, because I mean we install here.
I was gonna say
this is Florida, man, so
we've never had one come back.
We never had.
I think if the
nothing
window
come back,
freezes, I think cold temperature is probably more of a hassle than anything, but I doubt that would be an issue.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so when you're using the desktop software, point is that you can access any of the video files. You can do it from the SD card. You can do it from the dash cam being connected to it directly if you so choose, either direction that you go. And then you have the ability to also see the video, just like we saw on the phone, and then be able to see the video play back and display the map itself on the software itself. So you have your choice. You know, most people you're probably going to use your phone just because you always have it with you. You don't have to take the dash cam out of the car, and it's just ready to go. So it's that much easier.
And if you guys want to see it, you guys can go back and watch it again, how it works in the phone.
Yeah. So this then takes us to really the next level of dash cams, which turns us into
dual camera. So all you guys have been waiting for the dual camera. It's time to talk about dual camera.
So dual cameras, we can kind of simplify things because we have two dual camera setups that have a display on it. So here you've got the DRV-A 501 WDP and the DRV-A 601 WDP.
All right, they look so similar.
They do. Now, first thing you're going to notice about these is that it upgrades to a touchscreen display. So we'll just take one of these out. For example, we'll take the 601 out. So inside of the box, you're going to see two different boxes. You're going to see one box for the rear camera and one box for the front camera. So Dean, if you want to take out the rear camera, I'll take out the front camera, and we can show them what this looks like. So with the camera itself, the 501 and the 601 are virtually the same camera with one huge difference, and that's the picture resolution playback. So the 5 series, 501 WDP, this camera here versus the 601 dual camera system, the 601 is a 4K camera system.
And a bigger card.
So you're going to go, and a bigger SD card, because 4K. So you're looking at $230 versus $300. So $230 versus $300. So what do you get for that $300? Yep, you get a bigger SD card, and then you get 4K resolution playback.
So just to recap, going from the previous model single cam to a touchscreen dual cam is $100.
Yeah, so we're 100, 120, 230, 110 bucks. $70 more to the top end. So what else do you get for the top end? Well, with the 601W and the 501W, they both come with a polarized filter. So for those that are unfamiliar with a polarized filter, you're going to see this here.
What's in the box?
Yes, that's what makes it fun. So that you just take the plastic off, and then that just screws on there. And that helps with screen glare inside of the vehicle. So cool feature that ensures that you get the best in picture playback, because when you're going to this next camera level, somebody asked about, can you see that license plate? Well, if you really want to see the exacts of something really far away, when you get up into this 4K and then you zoom in to look at it, it is beyond incredible what you're able to see. So you get touchscreen display. So on the back side here, take that off, you have your nice touchscreen controls, as opposed to, and let me rephrase that. The screen itself is not touch, but they are a touch style as opposed to a physical button display.
There you go.
So you've got your higher resolution 4K video playback, and then you're going to see where it shows you've got this cam in. So we've got this included cable for the rear camera, and then the rear camera itself. So here's the rear camera. Now the rear camera itself, you notice that this has a fixed mount to it. Again, the front cameras come with a suction cup or a fixed mount. This can be mounted wherever you need it to be. These can go either direction. This has a proprietary plug that then connects here, and you'll see that it will line up and go right into place.
There you go. There's two lines in there.
This plug plugs into none other than the cam in on the front camera. So once you've connected your power and ground to the front camera, there's no wiring connections. It's just a physical wire run and a snap into place to the rear camera. And then depending upon where that rear camera is mounted, that has, you can see all the different angles that you can turn that to. Now here's something that's a bit interesting. You've got up to 2K wide quad resolution HD on the 5 series, 4K resolution on the 6 series. However, when you have them running in dual camera mode, it drops one resolution level. So for the 4K camera, if you go into the settings on the camera and select front camera only, it will record in up to 4K resolution. Same thing on the 5 series, it will record in up to 2K resolution. When you have both cameras actively recording, you want to monitor both the front and the rear view simultaneously. This 5 series records in full HD, 1920 by 1080. This 4K system will record in 2K resolution, wide quad HD. So you have to make that selection. Do you want them both recording simultaneously, or do you have a need? So very rarely are you necessarily going to need the front camera in 4K resolution. But if you're a tourist and you really want to get the best view from in front of your vehicle, you're going to go ahead and just record the front camera mode in the best resolution, which is 4K.
So you can turn it off or turn it back on
Just from the settings.
just from the settings
on the
there.
menu
Want
itself.
to plug it in?
Sure, we can plug it in. And what's kind of cool is that when we do a, by the way, Dean, I want to show you this because you mentioned it earlier. As opposed to AV out, these have an HD out on the side of
Well,
them.
it's 4K.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and power it on. Now, we would normally plug this into the detachable magnetic mount.
Has the same 2 docks as the previous model.
Correct, but we don't have to because it's got it on the camera here itself. So once we have this connected, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through the initial setup, and we're just going to use the defaults so that we don't have to spend any time. Let's not worry about the time and date because it'll get all of that automatically anyways. Miles per hour. We're going to set the password as 1234567 You can choose whatever password you want and hit OK. Now, here's where it's cool. First of all, this is not cool. It's going to tell you to format the SD card. No fun, but that's quick and fast. So we'll go ahead and we'll format the SD card. It'll say, please wait, format successful, power back on. Now, check this out. The camera itself, you notice how you can see the rear camera when it's in dual camera mode. So when these first came out, we kind of joked and we said, well, if you didn't have a rear view camera, this could kind of help you see behind you. However, when it's looking behind you and it's recording as a dash cam, as opposed to it being a backup camera, what do you think is going to be different?
Is it mirrored? Not mirrored?
You got it. So you would think that with a rear view camera, you're seeing the mirrored display. But with a dash camera, it's trying to record exactly what it's watching, which is what you want.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a mind trip when you see how that works, but it's correct. That's the way that it's designed to be. So you see it's recording with both right now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the menu. Okay, now when we're in the menu, you're going to see that we're going to go over to Settings. So for Settings, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go over, let's go Menu. Menu just lets me toggle from top left setting to top right setting. So we'll select Settings and get into wireless link and everything else like sounds. You don't like the clicks, turn them off, no worries. How about this? All 3 of these dash cams, the 3 series, 5 series, and 6 series, as well as the 7 series, have the ability to reverse the image. So that if you need to mount the camera upside down for some sort of a crazy application, somewhere where it can't fit normally, the wire needs to be run that direction, you can just reverse the image.
That's good to know.
Something that was asked for that we had added in. Now, you're going to see that we can go ahead and, what would we like to do? System info, card info, you can check satellite signals, that's all fun.
Do you know what the biggest size card that these will take, the 601?
256 gigabyte.
So they're all 256.
Yeah, everything that's a DRV-A is up to 256 gigabytes. Okay, you get a 64 gig on the 4K, a little bit bigger than the others. Okay, so if we go into the video files. For example, we just formatted the SD card, so you're not going to see anything here. So we're going to go ahead, let's go out of this mode, let's go back to the menu. And we talked about resolution, how you record what. So let's go into resolution, and here is where you're going to make your settings. 1440p, which is the equivalent of 2K resolution. 30 frames per second, dual camera mode. That's the default. Both cameras are recording. I go down to 4K. You notice how it no longer displays the word dual. That means it's now just recording with the front camera. So if we go and we exit back out of here, oh, it's gone. Just recording, so you just see the front camera. Then you can turn it back on and switch back and forth. So that's what we mean when it's different resolutions of how you can record.
Nice.
That is really good.
Very sweet. All right. So Josh is doing his work. Very good, Josh. He's answering. If Josh answers your question, he works for Kenwood, JVC Kenwood, so he's jumping in and trying to keep on top of the questions being asked. So thanks for that.
Snow drifter, we're gonna talk about that next. Talk about motorcycles and everything.
So we got one more big dog. Yep, that one. Nope. No, this guy. The 700. So we got 700. So what does the 700 add that the 601 doesn't have?
Right. So think of the 700 as the 501 WDP that does everything identical, other than this camera itself doesn't have a screen on it. It's designed to be hidden away up behind the rear view mirror, and because it doesn't have the screen and because it's a smaller stature, you just access the files from your phone and you do the settings, the setup, just like we looked at the 301, all from your phone itself.
Okay.
So this is a custom installed. Now, what's different about it being custom installed is that it still has a magnetic mounting feature, just like the other cams, but it's a very different way that it's done. So this is the front camera itself, and then you see here that the mount itself is right here. So this is the magnetic mount. You see it goes in and then snaps into place. Click it into place. And then you can remove it. So this is what fixes to your windshield. Where are you? There you are. Right. That fixes to your windshield. This has your power plugs on it. That always stays put. You never have to unplug or plug in the cables.
And it's the same rear camera.
Same rear camera. Same way that it works. This mounts up and down. Has that polarized filter on it.
I was going to say, that looks like it has the polarized filter on it.
Yep. So that's ready to go. And that's all there is to it. So again, you never have to take this out if you don't want to. Point being here is that it hides away so that you don't have to see it. But it comes with one other part, and that's the CA-DR 1030 hardwire kit.
Okay.
Because it's solely designed to be a custom installed option.
It comes with the kit.
Yeah, so if you're going to a shop to get this installed, this is a great route to go. Keeps everything out of sight and out of mind. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, then it's something that requires a little bit more expertise to be able to install a product like that.
And it comes with a full kit. That's awesome.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the one question that they were talking about. Hey, what if I have a snowmobile? What if I have a motorcycle? What if I have a side-by-side? What if I'm just wearing a helmet? Because you need a helmet.
We have an answer for that.
Of course you do. That's why we're here. So as I said, we're going to talk about dash cams / cams. And they've just came out with some new products. And we still have a product reveal, so stick with us.
You gotta stay with us.
Yeah.
That is going to be pretty cool. But let's head back over to the Fernando cam and take a look at these next cool things.
Okay, so helmet.
Clear some of this off
Now,
here.
Our helmet cam is the KCA-HX7C. And by the way, I didn't mention it, but the 700 WDP, that's a $270 price point. Okay, so right in between. A little bit more than the 501, but it's a hideaway, comes with a hardware kit. So
what are we looking at? Which one is this one?
This is the KCA-HX7C. This is a 4K camera that's designed to mount to your helmet and double as a communication device. So this product here, $400 price point, you see it's got a camera right here. So that's just a piece of plastic over. But what's really unique about this is, check this out. You can actually adjust the angle of the camera itself. Let's get this off of here so we can see that go. There you go. So that, you know, say for example it's mounted a little bit crooked on your helmet or something to that effect, you can make sure the camera has a perfectly level view of the road itself.
So you just pair it to your phone and check to see your angle. While
Correct.
paired
It
to
has
the phone.
it has a smartphone app, of course.
Of course.
And you can just connect your phone to it and then see it in real time, so you can.
So you say communication. What do you mean by communication?
Yeah, so that's why I brought this other product with, just because it wouldn't have made as much sense without seeing it. But we have a product called the KCA-HX5M, which this is designed to not offer a camera, but only offer communication. Now, we're not going to go through all these pieces here, but you can imagine when I say communication, these also include your boom mic that then connects.
And you guys can go to the website and see all the equipment that they have and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this product here is designed just for communication. So the point is you have helmet-to-helmet communication. So this is mounted on your helmet.
Okay.
And then you are communicating with other riders via a closed network or a mesh network. Lots we can get into, not for tonight, not for dash cameras, but that's a $330 product. This product here allows you to also communicate with other riders, because that's very important. You need to communicate that there's an event up ahead.
Does this come with a boom mic or no?
Yeah, so just like the other one, you'll see a whole slew of connecting pieces that allow you to be able to, you'll have speakers that get installed inside of the helmet, and you'll have the ability to
a little microphone that
speak to it. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, so you'll have, it has the microphone. I don't know if I don't have it in here. There's the little parts that go over top of the microphone.
Yeah, the microphone, you can see it right
so
here.
anyways, it does have the ability to, allow you to speak to it. And then,
so this would be for the front driver. That would be for the passenger on the back.
There you go.
Perfect.
Exactly. And it can communicate, these can communicate with up to 4 riders. These can communicate with several riders. And then these are also interchangeable with other products as well. So you see other helmet communication devices.
So it doesn't have to be, it's like universal kind of?
Yeah, because like you're going to see riders that have several different brands of these types of helmet communication
and you can still
devices.
communicate with them, okay.
But what's cool is that you're not just communicating, but instead of having to mount a GoPro on your helmet, or like you mentioned, you had to mount a GoPro in your vehicle, a rental, whatever it was, you're recording everything at the same time as well. So you're not just recording, but you're recording in 4K picture resolution. So it's beyond incredible what it's able to see and how good the picture quality is. So it's not in essence a dashboard camera, but it is a recording camera.
Well, it is your dashboard camera because your helmet is your dashboard.
Yeah, and it's designed
to be a lot closer to it.
Out in the elements, has weather-resistant properties, which is nice.
So there you go. You got your snowmobile, and you want to get your cool backflip
motorcycle
or whatever it is you're doing in the snowmobile. I don't know. I don't have experience in that field. So that's pretty nice.
And the same, right? You can still access all the images and the videos in this.
4K resolution on this.
4K. So we got.
Did this one comes with the SD card?
No SD card with this one here.
Okay.
No SD card. You can install, again, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Does it have built-in memory, or it doesn't need an SD card?
No, but that brings up something super important that we didn't talk about earlier, and that's a super capacitor. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we were going to get to that.
This is important. So,
all right, do I need to switch back to you?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so you said, does the dashboard camera have a built-in battery to it? Well, no, it doesn't have a built-in battery. But what happens if you get into an accident and power gets lost? Well, what's cool about these is that with all of the Kenwood dashboard cameras that I talked about, they have what's called a built-in super capacitor. So you can understand what that would do, just like what any capacitor would do, is it's a storage of energy, so that if something like that does occur, it has enough storage to be able to lock in that event that occurred at the end.
So it stays on for a certain couple seconds?
real short period of time, like a second or two, that allows it to lock in and finalize that specific file.
Okay.
That was happening.
So basically you don't lose your project like when the power goes out. So like a laptop or a home computer, it's like, saved it.
Yeah, it's like having a battery backup for an instant.
or so. So not enough that you would actively be able to do something with it, but it can actively do its job.
So I believe, so the question kind of mounted to a construction helmet. What kind of power does this have? Does this have a battery built into it, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you recharge this.
In the bottom has the USB
There's a
charger.
micro USB
So
or USB.
How big can the micro USB
How come
can
you don't
be?
get the USB with this? Or I mean the SD card with this one.
With this one here, so this is something that, again, number one, this doesn't need an the 5 doesn't need an SD card.
Well, no, the 7.
Yeah, so the 7 series that has the camera itself with it, the reason for that is because, again, you're recording with 4K resolution.
Okay.
So with 4K resolution,
well, I'm saying that you said it doesn't come with an SD card?
Right. So the price point of this product itself, because of everything it's doing, we're at $400.
It's a different customer.
It's a different customer,
Gotcha.
and typically if it's 4K, somebody's going to want to record. They're
They
going to
need
want
like 128 or
Yeah,
And that's what I
or
like. How big can
256.
this one be?
and so if we
Is it
were to include
256
that,
too?
256, I believe. So
yeah, you'd be at $600.
yeah. So I mean, even 450, but it takes you from a 399 up to the next level, and it's something that, quite honestly, not everyone might be even using the recording function if you were just using it for communication. So that was the reality of where we had to
Makes
be for
sense.
this. So yeah, very different situation.
It's designed to clip right in this area, right? Right somewhere.
Yeah, it mounts right on the side
So
of
as
the
far
helmet
as the
itself.
construction
Yeah.
helmet
It's
goes,
in this side right
it
here.
might be kind of weird, but I mean,
Okay,
It can work
it
on any
has a
helmet, for sure.
standard.
In your website, they have a picture
Yeah, we've got all sorts of pictures of
and
the way
all
it
the
works,
stuff
and
where
it's
it
on a
can
helmet.
be. You know, yeah. I mean, if you ride a
Yeah.
motorcycle, you know where it's supposed to be. So.
Yeah, and really where we're going with this is this builds into the story of who we are as a company and the direction that we're going. This is an outdoor type product. It's designed to be out in the elements, and it's recording video. So, you know, if you didn't know this, Kenwood has the #1 dash cam market share in Japan. So we are the leader in Japan for dash cams. We know that the market is growing. We want to invest in it. It's very, very cool, something that we want to be a part of.
Yeah.
But this is something that we want to really go to the next level with what we can do with dashboard cameras and really move to a market or expand into a market that is rapidly expanding here in the United States.
They are right. This does look like the Predator camera.
Nice.
You know the thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's
thinking the same thing when I first saw it. I was like, oh, they're getting into the Predator thing.
25 to light. Can I mount this one in a construction
That's what I was-
construction helmet?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's why I was
Perfect.
putting it on the
Awesome.
side of my
You
head.
could.
yeah.
You could.
All right. What have we missed on these? Anything?
I think we covered what we needed to cover on these. Of course, it's just a sampling of what it could be.
Yes.
But I think we've set the stage for where we need to go to at
Yes.
this point.
And
unless
Josh
there's
has been
any other
doing a
questions.
fabulous job answering questions. So
Yes,
thank
guys.
you.
So
Actually, 7 can take up to a 2. So there you go. So Josh is on point. Does
128 gig max,
does it
okay.
record any of the audio? Do we know, or is it just video? Like it's not recording any of the conversations, is it?
The helmet cam itself can actually record the conversation that you're having.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So if you're making a video or you want to record something and play it back, it's actually going to have the audio and the video simultaneously.
Perfect.
Yeah, very cool.
And now, are we ready? You want to talk about the new thing that's coming?
I think we are.
I think we're
but
gonna talk
hold
about-
on, we haven't talked about this. We haven't shown anybody
Oh, we
this.
just killed this.
Well, that means that
No,
we've been
you
going
just gotta,
for
like-
too long. We'll just restart it. But it's something that, and let's be honest. This is not. You're not going to see this in stores yet.
No.
But I've got it. We're here,
Yes. Let's talk about it.
so we might as well talk about it.
all right.
So let's debut this to the world.
Let me
so,
clear off some of this mess that
So we can have a prime access to this.
We got cameras everywhere. We're gonna have a lot of fun bagging all this stuff. All right, so we'll get the Fernando cam back on, and we'll take a look at these.
Hang on, give me 1
Um,
second. Not yet. Let me make my shot.
there you go. Any other questions as we're going?
No, that's Josh's. Josh is doing his thing.
Which Kenwood dash cam is the best? Well, again, that comes down to what makes sense for you. The DRVA 601 WDP, 4K resolution, dual cam system. That's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to do this, was to take a look at all the things that are basically tick all the boxes, and
Yes.
then let you make an informed decision on what you feel you need. If you don't need anything if you don't need a secondary camera, and keep in mind, it doesn't have to be a backup camera. So, or a camera that fires out the back. It's just a second camera. You can put it anywhere.
You can mount it inside, like the
exactly.
Nano cam you talked about. You want it
Yes.
just for the backseat
You want to keep an eye on the kid,
like rideshare.
Or if you want to aim it out the window, the driver's side window, because why not, right? So there's a lot of things you can do with a secondary camera. It just doesn't have to be out at the back of the vehicle if you don't want to.
And yes, you can link it to another riders, correct?
Correct.
You can
Yep.
you can still talk to different people.
Yeah, it said to do 4 up to 4.
Yeah, the 7 will do 4. The 5 will do multiple more, but
That's a
kind
whole.
of totally the
that's
whole
all-
other
that's like a
conversation.
whole walkie-talkie
We'll have a
thing going on.
communications conversation.
That's a big
someday.
body right
Yeah,
there.
it's way
We
outside.
don't want to go out that far.
All right, so let's head over to the Fernando cam. We'll take a look at this next.
What is that? All right, so what's cool right now? Well, what's really growing, what we're seeing a lot of growth in is marine and motorsports products. And specifically, you just saw these motorcycle or helmet cameras in general. Helmets are not limited to motorcycle riders. You can, you're driving an ATV, a UTV, you want to wear a helmet, you're going to want to record it. So this product here is designed to be in an outdoor environment. That's really what it comes down to. And when a product's in an outdoor environment, it needs to have IP or IPX ratings, different water resistance and water protection qualities, so that it can hold up to the elements. So this product here is a dual dash cam system designed to be in the outdoors. So take, for example, you have a UTV and you want to be able to have the footage recorded. Now, in that case, it could be just to record fun that you're having, show the trail life, whatever it is, you're going to want to record it.
Trail life. That's right, baby.
Trail life. Now, this camera, you'd mount one in the front, you'd mount one in the rear, or wherever you want to.
Wherever you want it.
But this one's designed for front, one's designed for rear, and then they would plug into this box. We call this like a brain box. This is where everything is happening. This is where all the electronics are. So you're going to have a certain IP rating for the box itself. This is typically designed to be mounted, maybe underneath a seat, or if you take the seat of the motorcycle off, wherever the storage area is in there, but it still has IP ratings. Then you're going to have this GPS antenna, because again, it needs to be able to see latitude, longitude, miles per hour.
Plus, that'd be cool too, because if it's monitoring your trail and you saw something cool, you went down a new trail, you'll be able to go back and figure out where you were.
Exact coordinates.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
And then you've got this little switch that's right here that allows you to connect to an app, because this has wireless connectivity, so that you can connect to an app to access your files, because again, there's no screen here. And then you've got the ability with the button itself to do other multi-functions like manually record a specific event, etc. So let's take a look.
Yeah, let's open it up.
All right. What's in the box?
Open it.
Hopefully not his wife's.
Okay. So I'm gonna disclaimer this a little bit. Again, this is something that we're looking at bringing to the market this summer. So it's not available yet. Later this summer, we should have this ready to go. So this is a preliminary, just to show you the direction we're going and really solidify our dash cam story and what it means to us. So if you take a look at this product, you're going to see that first of all we have the brain box. So the brain box itself, you have your GPS connector, and all of these connectors, you'll see how they connect. They just simply go right into place and screw together, and we'll connect one to show you. So you've got a GPS, you've got a switch. So here's the GPS antenna. So for example, when we have the GPS antenna, we connect this, go into place, and it simply just screws together. You're done. You've got to actually, of course, route the wires, but you get the point. Then you've got a front camera and a rear camera.
Oh, okay, this is a lot more rugged than I was thinking.
Yeah, so again, these are designed to really be out in the dirt and dust and grime.
Beat up, and yeah, that's awesome.
So you've got your front camera, you've got a rear camera, you've got a power connector, and then you've got a switch itself. And then we include all sorts of...
Oh, that's nice. So the power
different
connector
mounting
it's like
It's
this
thicker.
is, well, not only that, but like this is a female, this is a male connector, so you don't accidentally put the power
Confuses,
connector where like a camera's supposed to plug in.
So what I was getting at with this is, let's say, for example, in the next few months as we further development and production, we decide to change something a little bit.
Yes.
Do not hold this to a T. Things like lengths and connectors and things like that could change. This is this is a concept right now that we're showing that we're bringing to market soon. So I just want you to get the idea, and lucky you as viewers get the ability to do that. So you see the switch itself. So we're going to have the switch. So we'll go ahead and connect there. What do you think the chances are we're going to have the ability to connect this to power and ground?
I mean,
good if we want.
If you give me a minute, I'm sure I can make it happen.
Now you're going to notice on the side here, this is where the micro SD card is. It is an included 32 gigabyte micro SD card. Up to a 256 gigabyte class 10 is supported. So we'll go ahead and we'll select or press this back into place, lock that back in there. So you've got your rear camera, you've got a front camera. You've made all your connections just by putting into place, turning and spinning. This will mount under the seat or wherever makes sense.
Do we know how long is the cables? Like 6 feet?
Yeah, and that's what we don't want to talk about right now, because those could change by the time we bring it to market, because this is a sample. So, so we won't say that yet.
Perfect.
We'll leave that to the next time we talk about this closer to its launch date.
And we probably know that there'll be like extension cables and all that other fun stuff that you'll be able to buy.
Right, so we'll be able to advise you on that a little bit closer to the launch time. But most importantly, you want to expose this switch itself. Now, when this powers on for the first time, you're going to see the switch do a few different things. You're going to see that it has LED indicators here that will tell you kind of what mode it's in and what it's trying to do. So when we get it powered up, I'm going to go ahead and open up the application.
Okay.
So we've got an application for this. The application is called Kenwood Motorsports Cam. Now again, this is a pre-release application, so things are going to change a little bit probably by the time this comes to market. Just wanted to give you a little teaser here today. But in essence, it allows you to connect wirelessly to the device from your phone. So just like we did on the other devices, we're going to go into our Wi-Fi so it's ready to go. But at this point, we're going to wait until it powers on, and you're going to see the LEDs on the switch itself will illuminate once we get it powered. So, okay, once we get it powered on, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds to initialize, and then it'll show us the lights when it's ready to go.
Ooh, okay. Look at that.
So now you see the lights ready to go. Now I'm not going to teach you about what all the different lighting modes mean. It's in the manual. You'll see that later on. What I do want to show you is why you need the switch. So for the switch itself, in order to connect for Wi-Fi, we're going to go ahead and press and hold the switch for about 3 to 5 seconds until we see it switch to a flashing blue. Now you see that it shows up as Wi-Fi here, STZ RF2000. Okay, we've got that connected. That's ready to go. Now we're going to go back over to our application, Kenwood Motorsports Cam, and just like you mentioned on being able to adjust the image, things like that, we can go ahead and see the cameras itself. So wherever, I don't know, there you go. So now we can adjust the image, the angles, and it's showing this from your camera, seeing it to mine, but it wouldn't have the running lines like that.
Yeah.
But you get the idea. You can see which one you want to see, the rear camera or the front camera. So that allows you to set up and make sure you've got the cameras mounted correctly in your motorsports vehicle. And then I'm going to go out of here, and then I'm going to show you one other function, which would be, maybe two others. Drive recorder. So the drive recorder itself is going to access the stored files that are in there. So we'd be able to access a file and then play back a file, and that's just listening to us. We won't go any deeper into that because, again, this is a pre-release application. But one last thing that's probably important are the settings. So just like everyone asks, can you do this recording and that recording, and how does it change this, and how does it do that, and how do we change the video quality and all of that, and can we disable the rear cam? All of that's done through the app itself.
Perfect.
So it's super simple to use. You see how all these connect just in a matter of moments via Wi-Fi, and just how easy it is to access these settings.
I definitely like that one.
So we're pretty excited.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cool stuff.
I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, oh, okay.
And we knew it would be a lot, but we thought it was really important to show you kind of the gamut of products that at least we have, which really makes sense for, you know, when you're making a purchase decision, what type of dash cam do you need? Where do you go with this? And hopefully this answers a lot of those types of questions and helps you to make a more informed purchase decision, because I think that's important.
Just to we found we can go anywhere from $100 with the JVC camera just to get us going, just to get us rocking and rolling, get a quality, nice, high-end camera. $40 more gets us into a lot more features.
$20 more.
Oh yeah, $20 more.
Or 45 with the hardware kit. You're right.
And obviously everywhere in between, you need a dual camera, a single camera, you want a motorcycle camera, you want to add it into your Kenwood radio camera. There's a lot we can do with these, and
4K and all that stuff.
I think we've learned a lot more here as far as what we could do.
Yeah. And you know, the motorsports cam, this is something, that dual cam system we're going to talk more about. We'll talk about pricing in the upcoming months. Again, we didn't want to get too deep in that today. This was a world premiere of that. Just wanted to show you what we're working on, the direction that we're going. So it's,
then I can report on it Friday?
It could be. It could be. Yeah. So it's exciting stuff. You know, we talked about it ahead of time. It really made a lot of sense to show the direction, the emphasis we have on marine and motorsports products, and driver safety is really what this comes down to, you guys. It's really important to us at our corporation. It's a direction that we're going, and you know, it opens up the door for fun and a lot of opportunities to purchase a lot of different types of products. But at the end of the day, it's about driver safety.
Well, everybody wants to start a YouTube channel, so get a dash cam, do your Russian camera things, and start your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like Seth said, this is gonna change, so pricing it's gonna be in the future, so you guys can see
Of
and
the
everything.
motorsports,
Yep.
yep. All right, guys. I think that's it. Did we hit everything? I think it's wonderful.
I think so. I really appreciate
Yes.
everyone tuning in tonight.
Well, we don't
Yeah,
want
This
to
is pretty
keep you
exciting.
guys any longer. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight on this special presentation of dash cams. Thank you so much, Seth, for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man.
Just to what's the future? We're gonna get him back on next month sometime, and we're gonna do a big Q&A show with some more products. So for those of you guys that had like regular Kenwood or JVC questions, if we can't answer those on the other shows that we do, don't worry, we're going to get him back on, and we're going to do a big Q&A show of just everything. We'll talk about nostalgia, we'll talk about new stuff. He will make an itinerary of things we are going to talk about because he's good at that, and we'll definitely get him back on to talk more about just regular fun stuff.
Yes.
But this has been really cool. I'm super excited to be doing this. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. With that, I'm not going to talk anymore.
Thanks, Josh.
You guys have a great rest of your night. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.